The Galactic Council chamber was vast and cold, filled with floating lights and towering seats made for beings of every shape and size. Hundreds of species watched in silence as the final vote appeared in the air. The decision was already clear. Humanity had lost. Humans were new to the galaxy. They were small, short-lived, and had no great empires. They did not rule star systems or control ancient weapons. For years, they stayed quiet, traded honestly, and avoided conflict. Many in the galaxy barely noticed them. That was why the laugh echoed through the chamber. It came from High Commander Vraxel, a massive armored being whose species had ruled wars for centuries. His laughter was loud, sharp, and full of pride. Screens across the galaxy showed his face as he spoke. "Humans," he said, still laughing. "This council fears humans." More laughter followed. Other council members joined in. Some smiled. Some shook their heads in amusement. To them, humans were nothing more than a weak species that had wandered too far into dangerous space. The council speaker raised a clawed hand. "Order," he said. "The vote is complete." The words appeared in glowing symbols. Humanity is hereby declared a galactic threat. The decision shocked many smaller species. Some had traded with humans. Some had been helped by them. But no one spoke. No one dared. Vraxel leaned forward. "By order of this council," he announced, "all human systems will be cut off. Trade is banned. Borders are closed. Any human military movement will be treated as an act of war." The chamber approved. It was done. Across human space, the message arrived instantly. On Earth, people watched the broadcast in silence. No protests rose. No angry speeches followed. The human leaders did not shout or threaten. They simply turned off the screen. In the following days, the galaxy acted quickly. Human cargo ships were stopped and seized. Mining stations near alien borders were destroyed. A small human patrol fleet was attacked and wiped out. News spread fast. "Humans are finished," the galaxy said. They never stood a chance. They should have stayed quiet. Yet something strange happened. Humans did not respond. No fleets moved. No threats were sent. No emergency meetings were called. Human space grew quiet. Too quiet. Alien commanders took this as fear. Vraxel smiled as reports came in. "They are hiding," he said. "Soon they will beg." Weeks passed. Alien fleets moved closer to human territory, meeting no resistance. Sensors showed empty orbits, silent stations, powered-down defenses. It looked like collapse. But deep within human-controlled space, far from trade lanes and known routes, hidden systems came alive. Ships that had never appeared on any galactic record powered up. Dark fleets moved without signals. Commanders spoke in calm voices, not filled with anger, but with focus. One human officer looked at the stars and spoke quietly. "They laughed," he said. Another officer nodded. "They always laugh first." Humanity had learned long ago not to show its strength too early. On Earth, survival had never been easy. Humans came from a world of storms, predators, and endless conflict. They had fought nature, each other, and extinction itself. War was not new to them. They did not enjoy it. They prepared for it. Back in the council chamber, Vraxel received the final report of the day. Human systems remained silent. No response. No movement. He laughed again. "Congratulations," he said to the council. "The galaxy has won without a fight." Far away, in the dark between stars, a human commander opened a secure channel. His voice was steady. "This is not a war," he said. "This is permission." Across the void, thousands of human ships aligned, waiting for a single command. The galaxy had laughed. And that laugh had just started a war. The galaxy waited for humans to scream. It waited for angry messages, desperate threats, or reckless attacks. That was how weak species always reacted when pushed too far. They shouted. They rushed. They made mistakes. But humans did none of that. Human space remained silent. Alien fleets moved deeper into former human trade zones. Star lanes once busy with human ships were empty. Stations drifted without power. Defense platforms stayed dark. To the galaxy, it looked like fear. Like surrender. High Commander Vraxel enjoyed the reports. Total collapse, his officers said. No resistance. Human systems are falling apart. The Council broadcast victory speeches. Smaller species were warned not to help humans. Anyone who did would be punished. Most listened. Fear ruled the stars. Yet rumors began to spread. A patrol fleet near the outer edge of human space vanished. No wreckage. No signals. Just gone. At first, commanders blamed navigation errors or system storms. Space was dangerous, after all. Then another fleet disappeared. Then another. Sensors showed nothing unusual. No weapons fire. No explosions. Ships simply stopped existing. Alien crews started whispering. This isn't normal, some said. They're not fighting us, others replied. They're watching. Vraxel dismissed the concerns. Ghost stories, he said. Humans are hiding like animals. But fear does not listen to rank. An exploration cruiser entered a silent human system to confirm total abandonment. Its crew expected empty stations and broken worlds. They found lights. Cities still stood. Power flowed. Life signs were everywhere. But there were no ships in orbit. No satellites. No signals. The cruiser commander ordered a scan. Nothing answered. Then the stars moved. Not fast. Not loud. Just enough to be noticed. The cruiser tried to turn back. Its engines failed. Communications went dead. One crew member screamed as gravity shifted. Another vanished when a corridor folded in on itself. The ship never returned. Only one escape pod was later found drifting near a distant star. Inside was a single alien survivor, shaking and broken. When questioned, all he said was, "They were already there." Across the galaxy, confidence cracked. Supply routes were attacked with perfect timing. Fuel depots vanished hours before fleets arrived. Navigation beacons failed only for alien ships. Human colonies still showed no military movement. The silence became heavier than noise. Some council members demanded caution. "We don't understand human tactics," they said. "They are fighting without fighting." Vraxel slammed his claw onto the floor. Enough. Silence means weakness. We end this now. He ordered a massive push into human core space. Hundreds of ships moved together, lighting the stars like a burning spear. No species had ever faced such force and survived. As the fleets advanced, human space finally spoke. Not with threats. Not with insults. Just a short message sent to every invading ship. "We see you." Panic spread instantly. Systems overloaded as commanders demanded explanations. Scanners went wild. For the first time, alien sensors detected something massive surrounding them. Human ships. Thousands of them. They were dark, unmarked, and perfectly still. No energy spikes. No warnings. They had been there the entire time, hiding in plain sight, wrapped in technology no one else possessed. Alien weapons fired. Nothing hit. Human ships moved. The first alien fleet was erased in minutes. Not destroyed, removed. Space folded. Energy vanished. Entire squadrons disappeared as if they had never existed. There was no dramatic battle. No heroic last stands. Just quiet efficiency. Vraxel watched the reports in disbelief. His laughter died in his throat. "This is impossible," he whispered. But humans had never played by galactic rules. They had learned patience the hard way. They waited. They studied. And when they acted, they did not miss. As the surviving alien ships fled, a human message followed them across the stars. "You called us weak," it said. "You laughed." The galaxy finally understood. The silence was not fear. It was restraint. The galaxy changed in a single day. News spread faster than fear ever had. 3 full invasion fleets were gone. Not damaged. Not retreating. Gone. Star maps showed empty space where thousands of ships once existed. Command centers fell silent as commanders tried to explain what could not be explained. High Commander Vraxel locked himself inside the war chamber. He replayed the battle recordings again and again. Every time, the result was the same. Human ships did not charge. They did not surround. They did not overwhelm with numbers. They erased. The council demanded answers. "How?" one member asked. "What weapons are they using?" another said. "Why did we never see them coming?" No one had answers. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council felt real fear. Human fleets began moving openly now. Not rushing. Not chasing glory. They moved with purpose. Each action was small, precise, and deadly. Supply stations vanished. Command ships lost power and drifted helplessly. Entire star systems went dark for alien forces, while human colonies remained untouched. Humans did not attack cities. They attacked control. An alien admiral was captured during a failed ambush. He expected torture or execution. That was how galactic wars worked. Instead, he was taken to a clean, quiet room. A human officer stood across from him, calm and tired. "Why?" the admiral asked. "Why are you doing this now?" The human did not smile. "Because you forced us to stop holding back," he said. The admiral laughed weakly. "You could have ruled the galaxy. Why hide?" The human looked away for a moment. "Because ruling costs lives," he answered. "And we know what that feels like." Across the stars, human strategy became clear. They used speed where others used force. They used patience where others used fear. Every alien move was predicted. Every counter failed. Humanity had studied the galaxy quietly for decades. They learned every species' weakness, habits, and pride. They knew who would panic first. Who would betray allies. Who would break under pressure. And now they used that knowledge. Smaller species began refusing council orders. Some secretly shared information with humans. Others openly rebelled. They had seen what the council truly was, and what humans could do. Vraxel demanded a final solution. "End this," he roared. "Destroy their homeworld." The order went out. Every remaining superweapon was aimed at Earth. The galaxy watched. They expected panic. Evacuation. Desperation. Instead, Earth went dark. No ships. No defenses. No signals. The council celebrated too early. Human fleets stopped their attacks. Silence returned. But this time, it felt different. Heavy. Dangerous. A council scientist finally spoke the truth. Earth is not responding because it is empty. The chamber froze. What? Vraxel demanded. All human population centers were evacuated weeks ago, the scientist said. Earth was never their center of power. It was a symbol. Understanding hit like a weapon. Earth was bait. Human fleets appeared around the Council's own capital system. Not in secret. Not hidden. Fully visible. Impossible to ignore. For the first time, the Council's world felt small. A human broadcast reached every species. We did not come to conquer, the message said. We came to stop you. Vraxel watched the stars outside his chamber fill with human ships. He remembered his laugh. He remembered calling humans weak. Now, no one was laughing. The galaxy had declared war on humanity. And humanity had finally answered. The Council's capital world had never known fear. For thousands of years, it stood at the center of galactic power, layered with shields, surrounded by fleets, protected by the strongest weapons ever built. No enemy had ever reached its skies. No threat had ever dared to surround it. Until now. Human ships appeared in perfect formation around the system. They did not rush forward. They did not fire. They simply arrived, and stayed. The stars themselves seemed blocked. Council alarms screamed across the capital world. Military commanders shouted orders that no longer mattered. Defense grids powered up, but targeting systems failed to lock. Human ships floated just outside firing range, calm and unmoving. High Commander Vraxel stared at the display in silence. This is impossible, he said again, but this time there was no anger in his voice. Only dread. Reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Council-controlled systems were falling, not to invasion, but to collapse. Command networks were offline. Automated fleets refused orders. Slave species were rising up, cutting supply lines and taking back their worlds. Humans were not fighting an empire. They were removing it. A council elder finally spoke. Why are they not attacking? He asked. They could end us now. No one answered. Then the human broadcast began. It did not come with loud music or threats. There was no symbol of domination. Just a single human figure, standing in a simple uniform, speaking calmly. You aimed your weapons at Earth, the human said. You believed destroying our home would break us. Images appeared behind him, human cities, colonies, ships, and people scattered across hundreds of systems. Earth is where we began, he continued. Not where we ended. The council watched as data streamed in. Human population centers were everywhere. Mobile habitats. Deep space colonies. Hidden worlds. Humanity had never tied its survival to one planet. We learned that lesson early, the human said. From our own history. Vraxel slammed his fist into the console. Enough talk, he shouted. Fire everything. The command was sent. Nothing happened. The council's weapons did not respond. Human control had already spread through the capital's systems, not by force, but by design. Codes written decades ago activated. Safeties locked down. Power rerouted. The greatest weapons in the galaxy became silent monuments. Panic broke the chamber. Council members shouted accusations. Generals demanded retreat routes that no longer existed. Escape fleets found their engines disabled before launch. The human voice returned. You thought we were weak because we chose peace, he said. You thought silence meant fear. The image shifted to destroyed alien fleets, empty orbits, and freed worlds. Peace was a choice, the human said. So was patience. Outside the council world, human ships moved at last. Not to bombard. Not to destroy. They formed a tight ring around the planet, sealing it completely. No one in. No one out. Smaller species across the galaxy watched in shock. Many expected revenge. total destruction. Genocide, the way the Council had always ruled. Instead, humans sent aid ships to worlds damaged by Council wars. Food. Medicine. Power systems. Help without demands. A message spread among the stars. Humans are not taking worlds. They are freeing them. They could rule us, but they refuse. On the capital world, Vraxel fell to his knees. His laughter felt like a lifetime ago. "You've won," he said quietly. "End it." The human commander looked at him through the screen. "We didn't come to end the galaxy," he said. "We came to end what you turned it into." The Council's authority collapsed that day. Not in fire. Not in screams. But in silence. The same silence the galaxy had once mocked. And now feared. The galaxy waited for destruction. Every species believed the same thing. When a power rises this fast, it ends only one way. With fire. With revenge. With worlds burning to make a lesson no one would forget. Human ships surrounded the Council's capital world in perfect silence. No weapons fired. No countdowns. No threats. The stars themselves seemed to pause. On the capital world, the Council stood broken. Their fleets were gone. Their weapons were locked. Their authority had vanished in a single cycle. High Commander Vraxel stood alone in the chamber where he once laughed. Now, no one laughed. A human delegation arrived, not in a warship, but in a simple transport. They did not wear armor. They carried no visible weapons. They walked calmly into the chamber that once ruled the galaxy through fear. Vraxel looked at them and spoke with a cracked voice. "You've won," he said. "And us." The human commander looked around the chamber. He saw symbols of power carved into the walls. He saw seats built high above others. He saw history written by those who never paid the cost. "This is not a trial," the human said. "It is a decision." The galaxy listened. Humans did not destroy the Council world. They dismantled it. Systems were shut down. Control networks were erased. Military commands were dissolved. Council records, every secret, every crime, were released to the public galaxy. Truth spread faster than fear ever had. Worlds learned how they had been exploited. Species discovered wars were engineered, not necessary. Entire civilizations realized they had been tools. Rebellions ended overnight, because there was nothing left to rebel against. Vraxel collapsed to his knees. "Why spare us?" he asked. "After everything?" The human commander answered simply. "Because we know what happens when the cycle continues." Humans did not claim the capital world. They turned it into a neutral zone. A place where no species ruled over another. Where decisions required consent, not force. Across the galaxy, humans did something unexpected. They left. Their fleets pulled back. Their ships returned to human space. They did not install governors. They did not demand tribute. They did not rewrite borders for profit. They helped rebuild, then stepped away. Other species struggled to understand. Why give up power? Why not rule? Why not punish? The answer spread quietly among the stars. Because humans had lived under fear once. Because they knew domination always creates the next war. Because survival taught them restraint. A final message was broadcast to every known system. "We are not your masters," the human voice said. "We are your neighbors. Do not mistake mercy for weakness again." High Commander Vraxel was not executed. He was stripped of rank, power, and legacy. He was forced to live among the worlds his council had crushed. To see what fear had built. To see what freedom looked like. The galaxy rewrote its history. Humans were no longer called weak. They were no longer underestimated. They were not feared as conquerors. They were remembered as something far more dangerous. A species that could end everything. And chose not to. Long after the war ended, young civilizations studied that moment. The moment the galaxy laughed. The moment humans stayed silent. The moment silence turned into judgment. And every history lesson ended the same way. Congratulations, Galaxy, the scholars would say. You declared war on the universe's deadliest life form. And survived. Because they decided you were worth saving.